The Seadogs podcast.
It is 1-0 Scarborough Athletic.
All things Scarborough Athletic FC.
Rio Allen cuts inside and now has a shot. Oh, yeah!
The Seadogs podcast.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
Hello, welcome to episode 72. Coming up, I chat in depth to Scarborough's new attacking midfielder, Luke Hall, who says preparing for 2 games in 3 days is difficult.
As soon as the game finishes, you get some good food and rest and ice bath and that sort of stuff, and just make sure you do everything you possibly can to be as fresh as possible for the Monday and the travel down to Kings Lynn.
And talking to new signings, Jono greeting heaps praise on Mo Fadera.
Mo deserved to start today. He's been outstanding. I thought he was good again today.
We get ready for Boro V Southport and Kings Lynn against Scarborough this bank holiday weekend. Hi, it's Paddy Bellington, lifelong Boro fan and presenter of Paddy in the Morning, the breakfast show on This Is The Coast, the local commercial radio station for the Yorkshire coast. And of course, we bring you full match commentary of every Scarborough Athletic game, home and away in League and Cup in the 2026-27 season. So shortly we'll hear from Boro boss Jono greeting. We'll bring you the latest Boro news as well. But firstly, welcome to the podcast, the Seadogs podcast. Scarborough's new signing, the attacking midfielder Luke Hall. Firstly, how are you settling into life at Scarborough Athletic?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm loving it. It's definitely the most I've enjoyed my football in quite a few years, even in such a short space of time. I think that says a lot about the club and the staff and the Gaffer and everyone involved, really, and the players. It's such a good group, so it's hard not to enjoy.
Now, that's interesting that you say that, actually, because that is a big thing to say just a few league games into the new season. So that's great to hear. So what do you think is the difference, having played for various clubs? And I know you're not just saying that because you're here now. I know you genuinely mean it. So what is that difference?
Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of factors that go into it, but I think it's assembling. I think it's just the culture around the place and the fan base and the way the Gaffer likes things being run and the standards that are set. And ultimately, you could sign 12, 15 players that are really good footballers, but if they're not good personalities and they don't gel well, then you're not going to get much out of any individual. So I think it's just hats off to the club and the management for setting the standards the way they want to set them and recruiting the way they have done.
So just tell us, for those that haven't followed your progress, just tell us your journey, because you were in the Sheffield Wednesday system, weren't you, the academy there? Yeah. I grew up from Sheffield, grew up a Sheffield Wednesday fan as a little lad, and luckily enough managed to sign there when I was young and went all the way through to my late teens. And then there was loads of turnaround at the club and stuff and whatnot, and ended up leaving and had a couple trials at Brentford and stuff down south, but just didn't really fit. I didn't really enjoy it down there. So I came back up north and went into the non-league system and ended up at Worksop within the first year, and had quite a successful time there, and then moved down to Woking. Wasn't the best experience down there, in all honesty. I think there's quite a lot of troubles going on there now as well, but just wanted to get back enjoying my football. And obviously I played against Scarborough a couple of times for Buxton on loan last year and Worksop, and always liked the way the manager, the approach the manager gave himself in interviews, and how he handled himself on and off the pitch, and ultimately the way the lads played and the quality of the team. So it was a bit of a no-brainer, really. Interesting that you say that you've obviously been at a couple of clubs that have had some issues. Obviously, the Sheffield Wednesday issues are very well publicised. Yeah. With Scarborough Athletic, fan-owned. Yeah. And that's great in so many ways, but it also means that, the people who are running the club, on behalf of the supporters, all of us, we don't want what happened to the old club to happen again, when Scarborough FC went bust back in 2007. So it's about living with your means, isn't it? And sort of trying to punch above your weight and achieving what is achievable, but without putting the club at risk.
Of course, yeah. People at Woking and Sheffield Wednesday and things might not have been run perfect, and there might have been a few selfish decisions here and there, and ultimately you spend a little bit of money, it doesn't go right straight away, and then, like you say, you end up in a similar position to Scarborough, where you can't let that happen to the club, as you've obviously seen with Scarborough nearly 20 years ago, or whenever it was now. But I think it shows in the gaffer and the management that he's never going to put the club under financial stress of that ever happening again, in terms of we haven't really got a out-and-out number 9 this season. And obviously I'm sure there was a few question marks raised from the fans and stuff and people outside of the club, etc., because you are going to look to see where your goals have come from. But I think we're one of, if not the top scorers in the league now. Yeah. Which just shows if you develop a different way of playing and you get everyone firing and you have the community that we've got at the club to go and chip in with goals from everywhere, then it's not necessarily a problem. But yeah, I don't think as a squad we ever doubted that we would ever struggle for goals, to be fair.
Yeah. And some fans in the comments say we need a striker. But like you say, we've proved people wrong in that respect. And in some ways, it is a strength as well, isn't it? Because for opponents, they're not necessarily thinking, right, we need to put 2 men on that one striker because they're the threat. If goals are coming from across the pitch, then it's hard for them to know where to focus their marking. For example, your goal was so brilliantly taken. The control and the quick shot, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much for one. But yeah, it's like you say, we don't have to set up in a certain way where we've got one number 9 and it's going to get fired into him, because obviously, like you say, 2 teams will get 2 centre-halves, one in front, one behind, and then you're struggling looking for other ways to play. But like if we play Mo up front or Rio, or I don't even mind playing there, or Luca, we've got so many different options and ways we can play that, as we've done a couple of times this season already, if it gets to half time and we're not necessarily playing bad, but we think we could do better or change the shape a little bit and tweak stuff, then the gaffer's not afraid to do that and he'll do it early. And we've done that, like I say, a couple of times already, and it's worked in our favour. So teams can focus all week on setting up for us in a certain way and people in certain positions, but once you change and they don't know what to do, then you run on top, and we've shown that we can quickly score 2 or 3 goals in 20-30 minutes, and then the game's pretty much put to bed if you look after it right. So
yeah. And John has described you as a very technical player as well, which of course is great, and I guess that might have come from that academy upbringing as well. Because the thing is, you get taught to play a certain way, don't you? There, and sometimes without the experience of the physicality of football, maybe at this level, it can be a bit of a shock to the system. You do need both, don't you? You need that physicality, but you want to have that technical skill as well that you might learn at a big club academy.
100%, yeah. I think that, like you say, that technical side and the way you see the game, you can obviously develop that later on in your career as well. But if that gets nailed on from an early age, the next thing is accompanying yourself to be able to deal with the physicalities of, like you say, it's probably the lower you go down, the more physical it gets, really. So there's a lot of players that do slip by the wayside that are really, really good, and you think he's 100% going to have a career in the game, and then they can't quite make the transition into men's football, because it is completely a different ball game from, say, under 18s, under 21s football. But I've got an older brother who's just over 10 years older than me, and he used to kick lumps out of me on the back garden. So I think that probably set me in quite good stead later on down the line.
Yeah. We all need an older brother to kick lumps out of us to toughen us up, don't we? Yeah. Of course, you have represented England as well at under 15s level. That must have been a very proud moment, wearing the 3 lions on your chest.
Yeah, definitely one of the highlights of my career. Even though it was when I was a teenager, some of the players that I managed to get the chance to play with and against, and just watch them how they've progressed in their career, like your Jude Bellinghams and your Jamal Musialas and stuff like that are all playing on right at the top stage now. It's really great to see. But yeah, it's a great pathway through the England ranks as a youngster in this country.
Yeah. So a taste of that, which is amazing. And this is always the tough thing as well, isn't it? You're at an academy, you've got your dreams of making it as high as possible, and then obviously things happen and you need to find a club ultimately. The journey is still only just beginning, relatively speaking, isn't it? For people like yourself and others, you will be ambitious. You'll be hoping to have a fantastic season and hoping to get Scarborough promoted, actually, I would imagine. But you are no doubt still ambitious yourself.
Yeah, well, 100%. I think there's probably been a lot of people in my similar situation to me over the years where you not that you feel like you deserve to make it, or you, just because of the where you are at that certain time, there's a certain path you should follow, and it seems like there's no other way for it to work than that. But ultimately, everyone's path's different, and it is tough. It's obviously probably the toughest sport in the world to go and reach the pinnacle at. So you just have to accept that whatever journey comes to you, you have to take it and just do everything right, do it with the right attitude, have no regrets, and that's kind of it. But as terms of this season with Scarborough, definitely think we've got a good enough squad and everything behind the scenes to go and push for promotion, without a shadow of a doubt. And like I say, the people, it's probably for young lads that are coming out of academies and stuff now as well. Quite a lot of them, I think, turn their nose up at National League football and even below that. But there is not, are you seeing with, I think Danny Omrah just gone from Fyle to Peterborough and stuff like that. The pathway is there for people, so it's just about getting knocked down and getting back up again, I think.
Yeah. Well, we've had our own, Scarborough youngster be signed by Barnsley and all that. So, like you say, I mean, the standard of football actually at National League North level is, so much better than it once was. I remember the old Scarborough FC getting relegated to that level, and, it definitely wasn't what it is now. You've also got to remember as well that there aren't that many divisions above ours as well. So, relatively speaking, there's a relatively few number of people who are professional or semi-professional footballers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at Scarborough now, it's probably right at the top end of still being part-time. Like you said, there's so many clubs in our league now and even below that is making that transition into full-time football. So I just think it's going to keep getting stronger and stronger. But there's so many quality players now at this level. I really think that the gaps, like you say, between us and the National League are very, very fine in terms of quality and actual technical ability with players and teams. It's just the little fine margins and maybe a bit of consistency that separates the gaps now. But even League Two, like the teams that go up from non-league into League Two and stuff now, 99% of the time they stay there and do really well. So it just shows there's really not too much in it now.
Yeah, and finally, just to look back on the opening 4 games of the season, obviously it was a great performance against South Shields, who will be favourites to be, probably promoted. Funnily enough, they said that about Morecambe, who've had an awful start to the season. The comeback against Hensford, absolutely incredible. The performance against Spennymoor, brilliant. And then it was the only game I've seen, actually, due to work commitments, Chorley 2, Boro 1. But that was a good game of football, that, really. And, we had a few shots late on, and that could easily have been a different scoreline. So disappointing, but despite it being 2 wins and 2 defeats out of the first 4, it has felt really quite positive the start of the season, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think we was very unlucky to not get at least something out of the game against South Shields on the opening day. Like you say, they're obviously a really, really strong team, so it was always going to be a good test, but I think we deserve to come away with at least a point, if not 3. The Ensford win was great. It showed real character. It's a tough place to go away from home. Spennymoor, like you say, it was class from start to finish, pretty much a really professional performance. And this Saturday just gone, I think someone said it in the dressing room after the game. We got Chorleyed by Chorley, which is it's a hard place to go. The pitch isn't great. They have their own style of play, the way of playing, and we got in front, but we just switched off maybe 1 or 2 lapses of concentration, and we conceded 2 set pieces, which we know they're really strong at. So I'd be a lot more worried if we'd have got 2 losses and we'd have played really poorly in those games. So I think it's just about managing the fine details and working out this new way we've got of playing with no super number 9, and I think we'll be more than okay, and we should be at least pushing for playoffs.
Yeah, and it's always nice when you've got a home game next on a Saturday afternoon as well. So playing Southport next, which I'm sure you're really looking forward to, because you've already alluded to it. The atmosphere, the fans, the ground, the new pitch, and all that at the Scarborough Sports Village. It's all set up for great Saturday afternoon football, isn't it? There.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I always expected it to be great with the size of the club and the history of being in the football league and stuff. But it really, really is one of the best places I've played in non-league, especially as a home player. I just think it's a really well built ground where the crowd of 2 and a bit thousand, whatever it is, feels really on top. And I'm sure it's even harder for away teams to come when you get that electric atmosphere and everything's bouncing.
Yeah, and Southport actually unbeaten in their first 4. They've won 1, drawn 2 and lost 1, I beg your pardon. But unbeaten their last 3, so obviously they'll be tough opposition. And then it's Kings Lynn away. How do you prepare then when there's 2 games in the space of 3 days on one of these bank holiday weekends? Because I guess you've just got to give it your all, haven't you, on the Saturday, but you've got to still recover well and be ready to go again on the Monday.
Yeah, it's really tough, to be fair. I'm a little bit surprised that it's still a thing in this league, because I do think it can be a little bit dangerous playing 2 games in such a short space of time. But obviously you've just got to make sure as soon as the game finishes, you get some good food and rest and ice bath and that sort of stuff, and just make sure you do everything you possibly can to be as fresh as possible for the Monday and the travel down to Kings Lynn. So it is tough, but all the lads are really professional at Scarborough anyway, and everyone does everything right. So yeah, I'm sure we're more than fine. Yeah.
So are you telling me every Scarborough player is having an ice bath? Are you definitely having an ice bath? Yeah.
I'll see. If I'm really sore, I might just put myself through having one. But if I can get away with not having one, I'll probably leave it. But
yeah, can't be nice, that can it? But I suppose it does a job. All right, well, look, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate having you on the Seadogs podcast, and it's been great to watch you in action as well, either on the video highlights or in person on Saturday. So I'll be there this Saturday. So looking forward very much to hopefully a great performance from everyone, and hopefully another 3 points as well.
Yep, I hope so too, Paddy. Thanks very much for having me.
The Seadogs Podcast.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
This is the Cast.
So in a moment we'll preview Scarborough Athletic against Southport and also Kings Lynn against the Seadogs on Bank Holiday Monday. Firstly though, my broadcast colleague Fletch caught up with Scarborough boss Jono Greening after the Chorley defeat away from home last Saturday, reflecting back on the performance and the result.
It's always a difficult place to come. I said it in the interview on Thursday. The manager's been here a long time, got a lot of respect for him. Very organised, very disciplined, compete all over the pitch, do all the out of possession stuff really well, get back into shape quickly, track runners, try and win 50-50s, really test you with balls in the box, corners, long throws, central free kicks. We've had a good chat about it before the game. Most of my lads have been here a while and know how to play. I thought first half we competed really well. We knew we had to defend our box really well. I thought we did that. It was probably quite an even game. Not much quality by both teams. We didn't pass the ball the way we like to pass the ball. And at half time, we were quite relaxed. We still need to do all the basics really right, defensively. And second half, I thought we started off quite well. Obviously got the goal. And then, we don't defend 2 set plays, 1 central free kick. Not the first phase, it was the second phase. Gets it back to 1-1. We need to relax a little bit. We still played some good stuff. We've gone some really good areas. We've had a few shots at goal, made the keeper work, got into some good areas where the final pass or final cross or cut back probably wasn't good enough. And then they go and score a corner. We lose a man, header. I think it's second phase again. It's in the back of our net, and you end up losing the game 2-1. Even though, after that we still carried on being brave, trying to get bodies forward, tried to nick a goal. Potentially could have had a penalty, maybe. I think it was in the box, the one on Dontia, but nothing fell for us really. And like I said, they're a good team. They're very organised and disciplined. They play a certain way. They're very good on set plays, and we've lost 2 set plays, and that's the biggest killers because the boys knew that before the game.
Are you concerned that you've conceded 5 of your 6 goals from set plays so far this season?
No, I think, if you take Hully out the team, he's a massive miss, obviously. 6'5", 6'6", whatever he is. Obviously he was struggling early on in the season with his hip, so missed a couple of games, came back in off the bench, scored, then got sent off. So we're missing him again today. But we'll be fine. It's just, I think we've had a bit of not so much luck in the fact that things have dropped the team's ways and they've had easy tap-ins, but that can soon change. But not concerned massively. I think we're usually quite good on set plays over the majority of the season. All the seasons I've been here, and they're similar players. But obviously Hully's a massive miss being so tall. But we want to stop that, obviously, of course, because it's cost us the game today. I think Hensford scored their first goal from a little central free kick, into the box, headed back across, and they scored. But obviously we got back into the game and won the game. But today we haven't found enough going forward to get the draw or go and nick the game. But listen, it was a good game. I actually quite enjoyed it. I think it was some good stuff played. Some action at both ends, and Chorley will be up there in the season, hopefully with us.
Yeah, you tweaked a little bit during the game. You went into back 3 or back 5, however you prefer, when you went in front, and you could see elements of you going the other way and countering. But any disappointment that you was able to maybe let Chorley back in, because they did get a bit of momentum in that second?
Yeah, no, always disappointment. I think we changed it. We went to a back 3 halfway through, 25 minutes into the first half, because we thought it would cause us a few problems. Probably a little bit deep. We wanted Brownie and Keys as the 2 wide centre halves to step in and play, which actually happened for the goal. I think Keys gets the ball on the right hand side, he steps into halfway line and he plays the ball to Mo, who does a nice little flick for Rio to score, and that's what we wanted, and it worked quite well. And then obviously they get the set play, and then you want to change it to go a little bit more attacking to try and get the win. We always go for the win, so we changed it back to a 4-2-3-1 or sometimes 4-3-3. We got the licence to rotate, and we were fine again. And like I said, we played some good stuff at times second half and got some good areas. Just get the ball over the line or find the final pass, and then the killer is scoring from the corner kick, and then you're trying to chase the game, and you send it in centre halves forward and full-backs forward, and they had a few chances in the counter-attack. But listen, I'm disappointed. I think the effort was there, the commitment was there, the work rate was there. I think we matched them physically. We won a lot of duels. I think just 2 set plays have killed us today.
Because Jake Hull was out through suspension today, would there have been a consideration, perhaps given how tall Chorley's defence was, to maybe play Kieran Willedge up front because of his aerial and physical presence?
Not really. I think Mo's been doing really, really well. If Hully was fit, it just gives me another option in centre half or right back really. But I think Mo deserved to start today. He's been outstanding. I thought he was good again today. He sets the first goal up with Rio with a little flick around the corner. I think first half he's dribbled 2 or 3 of their players a couple of times and had a shot with his left foot, but just not found the target. But like I said, at the start of the season, he's raw, he's young. But the good thing is he wants to learn, he wants to get better, and he's a real threat. Even their manager, said to me before the game, I watched most of your games back, and he looks like a real gem of a find. But a lot for him to learn. But like I said, the good thing is he's a good kid and he wants to learn and get better.
In terms of signings, their goalkeeper today made some great saves towards the end, particularly from that free kick on another day. Is that the general feeling that perhaps could have just dropped your way on another occasion?
Yeah, I think so. I think like I said, they've had two set plays, that it's dropped to them and they've put it in the back of the net. Fair play to them. I think the first finish was from a centre half. From a hard angle, he's hit it hard and low right into the bottom corner. The second finish, obviously, good finish as well because he's hit the back of the net. But we've had a few chances ourselves today. The free kick is a great save. I think he's made another 2 or 3. But I think the chances where we've got into the box in good areas. We just haven't found that final pass or final cross or whatever it is to get a clear-cut chance. But their keeper's done really well today as well. I think their team, worked their socks off. Obviously, we're a good team. When we play well, we haven't given them an easy ride. They haven't, had 30, 40 passes, opened us up and created something really special and scored 2 outstanding goals. They've done what they needed to do, which is, score off 2 set players and win the game 2-1.
Rio Allen, 5 goals in 3 games, and obviously not a full clutch of opportunities for him today, but that just goes to show that he was in the right place from that through ball from Fadera.
Yeah, and I think maybe 2 or 3 of us were a little bit not fatigued or jaded, but we didn't seem ourselves first half. I thought, we were just a little bit off it in certain areas, so that's why we changed shape, and we were a lot better when we changed shape. I think Rio he knows where the back of the net is. When he gets chances, he buries them. I think he got a bit out physical first half. We had a quiet chat with him and said we need a little bit more from him because he's a really good player. But he's only young as well. He's just as young as Mo. He's learning the game, and like Mo, he wants to get better. He took it on board and much better second half. And sometimes I said to the players after the game, sometimes it's hard to play well every single game, every single minute of every single game. But when you're in spells where you're not playing well, you just got to work hard. You've got to do the basics really right. You've got to win your tackles, win your headers, be strong, keep the ball for us, and play your way back in the game. And I think Rio's got an outstanding future, that's for sure.
Final one, Alex Wiles didn't come off the bench today, even though he was named. After whacking the calf on Tuesday night, how is he?
Yeah, he tried to do the warm-up, and we put him on the bench just to rest him really, give him a chance, and hopefully if he got through the warm-up he could come on for 35 minutes if needed. But stop it! He felt it straight away in the warm-up, so we had to take him inside, and we just took him off the bench because there was no point having him on the bench. So we'll assess him on Tuesday, and fingers crossed it's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad, he just can't push off. So fingers crossed the bruising comes out a little bit more, and he'll be back for next Saturday, Monday.
Jonathan Greening, Scarborough manager there, speaking to James Fletcher. As we record this podcast, they will be training this evening, of course, Thursday night. So we'll know a little bit more, I'm sure, as we get nearer kick-off time on the fitness of Alex Wiles and other squad members as well. So Boro do welcome Southport to Scarborough Sports Village this Saturday. Kick-off is at 3:00. East Coast versus West Coast, call it whatever you want. Southport picked up their first 3 points last Saturday. It was an impressive 4-1 win at Bedford, including a first half brace from Luke Burgess. They did start their season with a defeat away to high-flying Hebburn Town. They drew against Hensford and Buxton. Against Hensford, they were 2-0 down and scored 2 goals in stoppage time to secure a point. Last season, Boro secured all 3 points. Bridlington against Southport with a 2-0 win, and on the road when the sides met on a very sunny but very cold day last January. I remember that one well. In fact, it was very snowy back home, wasn't it, on the Yorkshire coast? We had deep snow here, and it was just freezing cold but sunny, and no snow over on the west coast. Pay on the gate is available for this fixture, but the club strongly recommend purchasing your tickets online in advance. Online ticket sales do end at 10:00 on Saturday. It's £18 for adults. Concessions, students, OAPs and armed forces personnel, £14. £8 for youths. Children aged 13 and under, just £1. And of course, there is plenty of parking on site, and you can enjoy some refreshments pre-match and a drink in the BR Victory Bar. The game is not segregated, so all supporters are asked to enter via the home turnstiles at the back of the ground near the fan zone. And those gates open at 1:30. And then it is Kings Lynn away on Bank Holiday Monday. Are you making your way on that long journey to Kings Lynn? You look on a map and it looks just down the coast, but those long straight roads do take forever. And you go through a village as well, if you go a certain way, I suppose, which is called New York. And they have a New York Village Hall, which looks quite weird on the sign. So that will be a tough test. And of course, as we know, Scarborough Athletic famously came back from 3-0 down at half-time to win 4-3 a couple of seasons back. I'll never forget that one. And you can get your away day travel booked with Valley Bar Seadogs. Details online and on social media. There are links via scarboroughAthletic.com. And in other Boro news, everyone at the club and all the fans very saddened to learn of the passing of supporter Alan Sidney Mason, who sadly passed away last week, aged 75. The last game Alan attended with his family was Bedford in April, where he saw the Seadogs secure a playoff place. His daughter Kim said, "I put the commentary of the match against Hensford on for him whilst in palliative care, and I swear he could hear every goal and penalty given, and it kept him alive a little longer." So rest in peace, Alan Mason. Scarborough Athletic Community Foundation are proud to announce a new community partnership with St Catherine's, Age UK and the Royal British Legion. The newly formed partnership is trialling an initiative for members of Blue Light Services and the Armed Forces community, veterans and ex-service women. Dave Chamberlain for the Community Foundation said it's an exciting prospect to think about teaming up with such amazing organisations. The group have come together with a view to delivering football sessions in the borough. This is the first time in our knowledge that such respected organisations have come together with a shared purpose of working with Blue Light, Armed Forces Services, veterans and ex-service women, which is an exciting prospect for the foundation to be part of. If you're interested in finding out a bit more, you can email steve.machin@seadogstrust.com, and the information and, in fact, his phone number is on the Scarborough Athletic website. Well, that's your lot for the Seadogs podcast, episode 72. I will be at the game on Saturday. Ant's going to be bringing us full match commentary, and on the commentary, can I just apologise for us losing the commentary away at Chorley on Saturday. It was deeply frustrating for me, and I'm sure for you if you were tuned in as well. Servers went down, and unfortunately they couldn't be repaired and fixed in time for us to bring you the rest of the match. But all has been sorted right now. We will have full match commentary on This Is the Coast Extra of Scarborough against Southport and Kings Lynn against Scarborough Athletic on Bank Holiday Monday as well. You can listen at thisisthecoast.co.uk/extra anywhere in the world. You can also download the This Is the Coast app and again listen anywhere in the world on that. Just switch station to Extra Scarborough, and why not ask your Alexa to play This Is the Coast Extra, and then when prompted, select Scarborough. From me, Paddy, thanks for listening.
Extra.
The home of live Scarborough athletic coverage. This is the Coast Extra.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
This is the Coast Extra.